Girl, listen to this. I got a text message last night at 7 p.m. from a guy who is 42. 42 years old. This man has been on this earth for 4 decades plus 2 years. Okay. 7 p.m. saying, I'm in your state, in this city. It's an hour away. Do you want to come hang out with me? Period.
Damn. To me, this just sounds like a woman who is expecting more from a guy who, to be honest, doesn't seem all that invested in whatever it is they've got going on. She kinda stresses that he's 42 years old, and she says it in a way that implies he should know better or want more for his life. The thing is, just like how you have women all up on TikTok who have no interest in settling down with anyone, maybe he's happy to live out the rest of his life as a bachelor. The way he sent that text message says to me that he's a guy who has options and likely does this sort of thing with multiple women. Of course, it's possible that he actually doesn't have any game, but given the fact that she felt the need to make this video about him, lets me know that he had enough game to make her feel some type of way.
Immediately no. Immediately no, okay? The message I'm trying to convey in this TikTok is know what box people are putting you in, okay? This man is doing very well in his career. Very, very well, okay? So I know that he's good at communicating on the back end of those people for his career. I know it.
Just like she did with his age, she stressed the fact that he's doing very well, so we can assume that he's making good money. Now, the creator in this video is actually a model, and she states on her profile that it's something she does part-time, and with 368,000 followers, she's not a nobody. Now you're probably thinking, why did he even bring that up? Well, I mention it because it kinda lines up with the kind of man you'd expect someone like this to go for. While it's not impossible, and I don't know her on a personal level or anything like that, I highly doubt that she's looking to date a regular dude who's making $40,000 a year. She's gonna want someone who has status and can match whatever level she thinks she's on, and we all know that for the most part, guys like that aren't usually in a rush to settle down with one woman, and even when they do, the chance of them being loyal is low. I doubt many people would disagree with the fact that this woman's attractive, and a lot of men would sacrifice the world to have a shot with her, but that's not the case for the man she felt compelled to make this video about. It's possible that attractive women like this are a dime a dozen, and not something he ever has to worry too much about because he's confident that he'll be able to replace her, especially if all he's looking for is a good time. Now, to be fair, I'm making a lot of assumptions here and could be wrong, but this is just the vibe I'm getting, given the information we have to go on and all that.
I know it. He wouldn't be doing so well if that were the case. Do you know what I mean? So I know he knows how to communicate directly, promptly, and timely, and respectfully. But when it comes to the romantic interests in his life, and he's 42 years old, never been married, single, doesn't have any kids, and I'm not saying that there's a certain timeline of when that should happen. I'm just saying at 42 years old, you're pretty much set in your ways. And he's definitely gotten away with this before, where he could just text someone on the fly and see if they can come and meet him. And probably someone did come and meet him last night. That's fine, but don't put me in that box. I have respect for myself.
She's right. When people get to a certain age, they do kind of get stuck in their ways, which is one of the reasons a lot of these podcasters are always going on about how much they appreciate the company of a younger woman as they come with less baggage. She seems aware of the fact that this guy has other options, and it's true that he probably did find someone else to spend the night with. I am a little curious about what's actually gone on between them. Have they met up before, or have they only spoken online? Given the fact that we're even getting a video like this, I feel like she was emotionally invested, which suggests they've enjoyed a little more than a bit of chit-chat online. But who knows? I could be dead wrong.
I am not that fucking desperate to go and see you. I'm not a clout chaser either. I'm not some dumb bimbo who doesn't have a life, who's gonna drop my shit just to go and meet you because you think you're cool, because you think you're hot shit. That man has zero fucking respect for me or anyone that he's texting at 7 p.m. asking to come hang out. An hour away. An hour away. What do you think? I'm going to drop my shit? I'm going to take a shower and fucking get ready, and then I'm going to come meet you by 9 p.m.? Like, what do you think is going to happen? It's just wild to me. At 42 years old, you think you would know how to communicate better to people. You think you would give someone a heads up. This is wild. Like, I have a fucking life. I have shit to do. I literally texted him back and I said, no. I have a life and it's 7 p.m. The fuck?
In this last part, it really felt like her ego took a hit because this guy didn't value her in the way she thinks he should have. She really wasn't feeling the way he dropped that text message, but in my experience, when guys do things like this is because it gets the result they want. And while it obviously doesn't work all the time, the success rate is high enough for them to continue doing it. She keeps talking about how she's not desperate and all that, but if it was something she didn't care about, we wouldn't be watching this video. Now, you could argue that she made this video to educate other women about what to look out for when they're dating. But given how emotionally charged and irritated she was, tells me it was about much more than that. The thing is, when people are in situationships, getting and sending messages like this isn't anything out of the ordinary. So unless she's feeling this guy more than she wants us to believe, there's no need to be so shocked about it. She even stresses that she has a life and would never drop her shit to go and meet this guy. But if things were going that well, again, this video wouldn't exist, unless of course, it was only made for the likes and follows, which is actually very plausible. Anyway, the responses in the comment section were kinda mixed, but there were a few people who were confused about why she bothered to make this video. But let's quickly get into it.
You are packing an awful lot of emotion and investment into a simple no.
I agree. She seems hurt.
It's probably just a social media thing, but if this is how she really feels, then she is spending way too much time thinking about it.
As a 42-year-old woman, I would never either. But don't assume men in their 40s are emotionally mature. Business ventures may be thriving, but emotionally, they're behind. Younger men are more mature.
So, by that logic, the men in their 40s were mature when they were younger men, but grew less mature?
He does it because girls will accept that.
Came to say this. Met a 52-year-old, green eyes, tall, divorced, no kids, works in finance, travels for work, and he's still running games because women still give him the time of day.
Now, I do agree with the core message of her video, which is about being aware of the category people are putting you into. And this goes for both men and women. If you're someone who's looking for a relationship and the guy you're interested in only wants to clap cheeks, you should cut your losses so you don't waste time. And the same thing goes for all the dudes who've fallen in love with a woman who's friend-zoned them. Life's too short to be messing around with people who can't give you what you want, so keep it moving so you can find or build the type of life you want. Anyway guys, as usual, let me know what you think in the comments about all this, and maybe I'll see you down there.